I don't see it. Ticket text rolling in on this 97136. Woj would be proud. It was the right move. Fair. Against the norm, like I agree with you 100%. Matter of fact, I don't think I could have said it better. That's from Matt. Mike, I want the Lions to draft a linebacker. Hassan Reddick won't be there till 21, but I've seen reports of Reuben Foster, and the Lions should draft him. Right, but Nick, my point to you would be, if they didn't, what would you be angry at? Linebacker isn't their only need, and not by a long shot. Eric from Warren writes in, what if they draft a tight end? That'd be a mess. I disagree. Mike, that's the smartest opinion I've heard on your station about the draft. Completely disagree, Mike, because the needs are so abundant and the options are endless. The worst thing they could do is stay at 21. Okay, but here's what you're selling me. Trade down, acquire more picks. Every single team in the draft wants to do that. But that is pushing for something that is, and you're pushing for something without knowing if it's possible. And don't say, well, you have to do it. Or you could easily do it. Well, you could trade down, but what if the value's not there? What if somebody doesn't offer you? Like, for instance, a lot of you are going to call in over the course of this week and tell me if the Lions trade from 21 to 25, that someone's going to give up a second-round pick. And odds are that's just not true. What if the Lions only received a third next year and a fourth this year in a swap? You'd be furious. So I don't think that that's as easy as many make it sound. Let's go to Sean, 97.1. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Mike. I think it's an extremely intelligent take, and I would only add one thing to it, though, is that I don't think it makes for a flat, emotionless draft experience, right? Because you're kind of focusing on one end of the emotional spectrum, if you will, that you shouldn't be angry or disappointed with who they draft, and I totally agree with that at 21. But I'm hoping that it's the other end of the spectrum where I'm happy and ecstatic and really, really excited that somebody has slipped down. That's one of the kind of premier talents that we could get our hands on. That's what I'm hoping for some sort of emotion out of that pick.
Well, and I think you have a great shot of that at both picks, both at 21 and in the second round. It always happens, Sean. Everyone gets obsessed with these mock draft things, right? And I hate them. But, like, let's say you've got Todd McShay's top 32, right? Now, it's already been proven Todd McShay doesn't know his elbow from his bleep hole because he had Jabril Peppers like second best player in the country. My point is there's going to be guys from that top 32, several of them, Sean, and they're going to be available to you in round 2, and you're going to go, holy bleep, I can't believe player X is here. So you're right. There's an opportunity at both those picks to get a perceived value.
I also think this is similar to last year where nobody thought there was any good quarterbacks and no one was going to draft quarterbacks in the first round. And then a week before the draft, all these trades happen and everything. There could easily be a run on quarterbacks that no one's expecting or can foresee right now that could help, get a player to slip.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I think every team is making a mistake that does it. I mean, I think I've watched enough of each of these guys. And, yeah, that includes Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech because anytime they're on, I watch. Their games are entertaining.
Let them make the mistake.
Amen.
I want as many quarterbacks taken before 21 as possible.
Yeah, and you know what? The way the league works, Sean, maybe 3 or 4 of them go before 21. It wouldn't be shocking to me. Teams do a lot of stupid stuff. Let's go over to Sean, 97.1. What's up, Sean?
What's going on, Mikey?
How you doing, bud?
Good. I'm not going to say smart, and I'm not going to say soft. I'm going to use a different term. I'm going to say vague because I'm used to you giving us a straight line shot on who we should go after. And I kind of understand where you're coming from. At 21, you don't, it's kind of like, what are you going to get? But my thing is, I think that pass rushers are a premium, especially young pass rushers. And I feel like if we can get a young pass rusher, may it be a guy who is a DN, D tackle, maybe even a rush linebacker kind of deal, I think that will make this team better because you can kind of find guys in later rounds and, quote unquote, off the streets for skill positions. There's other teams that seem to do it. We need to find out a way to get a guy or two like that we bring in for a camp and a workout, and he ends up panning out, and we need to make these first couple picks count on the interior because that's how we're going to build this thing the right way.
Well, let me do this, Sean. Okay, in the absence of me not going crazy no matter what they do Thursday, that doesn't mean I don't have preferences or I don't have kind of an order. What I'm saying is in prior years, the franchise was at a certain position and they were drafting at a certain position where I thought they had to do certain things.
Okay.
Like this year, I happen to agree with you, Sean. I think it's about having a quarterback and then going and getting the quarterback. You're right. You could draft a pass rusher every single year in the first round and be justifiable. I have no issue doing that. What I'm saying is, okay, you want a pass rusher, I want a pass rusher. Everyone in the league wants that. If they didn't do it, but they took the best middle linebacker who is not a pass rush position, or let's say they had a corner they loved. Do I like taking corners in the first round? No, I don't. But I could understand it. I could support it. How about a running? Sean, what's the last running back you had that you felt like it was a difference maker?
Man, that's number 20, to be honest with
Okay.
you. Maybe glimpses of Javed when he had his wheels before he blew a tire. But my thing is this, Mike, is we've missed so many times, I feel like, with receivers and running backs in the first round.
But it's a different
It really
regime.
scares me to go any direction towards a skill position when you can get a young, 20-something-year-old kid, 290, running a 4.7, 4.8 pass rushing and coming up and just killing the quarterback, and somebody who's going to, make an instant impact right away, not someone who's going to have to learn a whole new offense, whatever. I feel like you just tell the kid, run after the quarterback, go after the quarterback, do what you've been doing for years, not come in and learn this whole new system that we have,
Well, and again,
offense.
Sean, it's going to boil down to, do you trust the process or not? I mean, prior regimes, you can't hold these guys accountable for it. Yes, David?
That's the issue. Sean is the voice of many Lions fans. Wow.
What?
Sean is the voice of many Lions fans. They are scared.
You weren't aware we had a backing band for you?
I had no idea. Like, where did it come from? Wow.
Don't worry. I donated a lot this month to Greater Life.
But Lions fans like Sean are scared. They're afraid to make a move. If you hear wide receiver or tight end or run, I can't even talk with this going on behind me.
Sorry. Tell the band to come back later. Go ahead.
You'll get used to it.
Go ahead.
But Sean is just like Lions fans. They're just afraid to draft the wide receiver, running back, or tight end.
You can't be.
Because of the old regime, they're just afraid. You can't do that.
Think about this.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And that includes your offense.
Yes.
I mean, and I talked more in depth about it on the Sunday Football Show, but man, you damn near went 3 and out on a quarter of your possessions. You didn't score points. The end of the season, whether it was Stafford's finger or otherwise, your offense was just toothless. And you've got some nice players, but how many guys on that? Like, if I ranked out the top 100 skill players in football, top 100, running back, tight end, wide receivers, okay? How many of your players would make a top 100 list? And then ask yourself this question: how many would make a top 50 list? And here's the most critical, and this is what everybody's looking for. How many of your skill guys would crack a top 20? I don't think you'd like the answers if you were being honest with yourself. What David is saying is true. If you've got a guy at 21 that you think is going to be a Brandon Cooks or is going to be, a really good football player, well, then you take him. I mean, I don't get hung up on position when a team has this foundation kind of set. They have their left tackle in Decker. They have their right tackle in Wagner. All right, so we got our bases covered up front. You have your quarterback. You don't have to love him, but you got him.
I mean, who led this team in receiving touchdowns last season?
It's
Anquan Boldin.
That's okay. That would have been probably my second or third guess, so I wouldn't have gotten it right.
That answer right there tells you they need help everywhere.
Correct. So I don't think people should get angry with whatever they do. You should roll with it and go, okay, well, we needed that. I mean, it's just, to me, it's simple. 248-539-9797. More of the people. We've got breaking news. Adam Schefter bringing to you just minutes ago. We'll address it next. And at 3 o'clock, I don't want to oversell it, but I think I'm going to deliver a pretty good one for you. 3 o'clock, I have some major thoughts about MSU football and my standing as a supporter of it.